Okay, so I'm just gonna go through what I went through yesterday on Tuesday the 25th. This is inserting yourself into a work of art. I have downloaded this work of art from the internet, and I'm going to use a picture that I have from one of the students. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in here, zoom in, look at everything I have laid out, go to the image I borrowed. Thank you very much. And I'm going to just grab his face. I used a lasso tool to draw around it. And then I'm going to drag it right over. The videos I have posted by other artists, they are using the masking tool to do the same thing because they don't want to damage the image. We are not worried about destruction because we still have the original over here. We're just going to drag it over here, work that way. So Command T, adjust my size. Let me get it in place. Obviously it's a little too small, but I'm going to zoom in and make sure that that is in line. I could do that by reducing the opacity. Easiest way what I like to do anyway is go ahead and line up the eyes, make sure that they are in place, and then I can work on the rest of the face. Looks about right. I think I'm good there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little trimming, reduce my opacity here. I'm going to go around the artwork. You can use either the polygonal lasso tool or the eraser tool. I'm going to show you just a second here, the difference between the two. So if I go up here and use the polygonal lasso tool, I am still on that layer with the face on it. I can select that area and delete it. The other option is to use the eraser tool. So you can use the eraser. You want to make that eraser small enough that it works for your space. You can pick one of the erasers that has a kind of a blurry edge to it. And that will help you go through and erase. Now I did change my opacity there to 100. Oops. Go to normal and erase through, but it does not seem to be working for me. Love these things. So if it doesn't work for you, you can always go through and restart it. I'm just gonna shortcut this since I don't have a whole lot of time. YouTube only allows me 10 minutes, so I'm not gonna restart anything. If you come in a little bit, it's perfectly okay. So we're going to do a little bit of blending anyway. Now if you could do what I'm doing now and go all the way around it, and you select this face, if I hit delete, that face goes away. If I select the inverse, I can actually delete the stuff around it. I've kept the face, selected the inverse, and deleted. And go back to my opacity in here. Now what I went through yesterday, obviously this color is not going to work. Those little shadows on the edges are not going to work. I will change those here really quickly. What I showed yesterday was going to the filter and borrowing or using the image with a neural filter and doing the style transfer. If this works for your painting, go ahead and grab it and use it. I can go to custom, select image. I select that image from my computer. I'm going to use that image. This is not going to work so well. It's going to pick up. Sorry. It's going to pick up on the bars. This is going to go a little strange on her face here. Yep, you see. So I'm going to hit cancel this one. Sorry, again. I'm going to go through and do some color matching and erasing real quick. All right. You know, I am going just a little bit on that inside of that so I can change it. I do think that I do need to widen this face a bit. How did I put it there? There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and just erase so I can have some of that lighter color showing through. I'm going to go up to my images and adjustments, and I am going to go through my brightness contrast at first and just work on that. I think the brightness needs to go up quite a bit here. That contrast down just a little bit. And I'm going to go in here to adjustments again and kind of work on my hue and saturation. Now, the saturation is how much color is in it. So if I went down here, right, and just taking it black and white, I don't want to go that far, but the hue is a little yellower in the painting, so I can change that. If that doesn't work quite to get you there, you can also do your adjustments for your color levels. That's what I did yesterday. So you do want a color that matches closely. You zoom out, zoom in, see what works. Sorry for the dogs. Okay. Now, yes, I'm zooming in extremely close. I can see like all the pixels here. That color seems to be fairly decent. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to filter and filter gallery. I'm going to look at some of the painting styles they have here. So I have brush strokes. I'll zoom in on my selection. This is under texture with canvas. This is on texturizer. You can pick different things. This texturizer has canvas on it. You can really bring that down to just a little textured. You can also, if yours is got brush strokes, you could use angled strokes. That I would bring down quite a bit so it looks more realistic. But it seems a bit too much, as that does for me. I'm going to go back and change that. I'm going to go to that gallery again. I'm going to use the texture of canvas. Now to blend these edges in, there's a couple ways. Number one way is super easy. You can use that eraser tool and change your opacity to, let's say 40%. You can do it even less if you want to, and start erasing those edges. And to where they become part of the area. You can also use your blur tool and blur out the edges. Smudging works sometimes. I would not tell you to do it all the time, right? But it does work sometimes, and you can go through like right here, this edge where it's kind of lighter. The smudging works a bit. You can also change your blur mode to like lighten, and you can lighten up that edge if you need to. I like to do that with the dodge tool instead, because I can lighten up more than just that one little area. Many of you will like the healing brush tool. The healing brush tool only really works if they are one layer. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. You'll need to select both layers and make them one by merging them. You could do that by selecting both. Scroll way down, hit merge layers, and you can use the healing brush tool. The healing brush tool, spot healing, you can just drag over and it decides to kind of blend some of that stuff in for you. The spot healing brush, which is just below it, or sorry, that was the spot. The healing brush, just below it, you can actually choose an area by holding the option key and target a specific area or color and go through and apply that. I don't like that, but you can do that. Another thing I would do, my zoom in and zoom out, if it doesn't look natural, you can actually go through with your paintbrush and add some brush strokes in there. Kind of play around with your opacity and your burn and darken layers. But again, that's essentially where we are with this one. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of burning in the shadow here. So it looks a little more natural. I'm getting those seams to go away, but I do still want this to look like painting. And then voila, or voila, you have your image. When it's all said and done, you can go through and submit this piece. And that is all. Hopefully you get that finished today, and good luck.